On December 17th, 2017, I attended 5 o'clock Mass at the Church of St. Francis of Assisi in New York City. In terms of music, I would say that this Mass was non-traditional, but in terms of how the Mass was carried out, I think it was done in a very traditional way. The music was non-traditional, or more modern, I might call it. I think because of the instruments used. There was a guitarist, a pianist, there was drums, and there wasn't a choir. There was two singers, really, who seemed to carry the team on the songs. I also noticed that there was not traditional garb or clothing worn by, besides the priest who's carrying out the Mass. I think the people that were helping to serve were not wearing anything traditional, and I noticed that, and I found that unique. In terms of the congregation, I would say that they were more lower to middle class, and it was a very diverse mix of different cultures. There was a strong Korean congregation. I could tell from people in attendance and also from flyers around the church that seemed to be directed towards the Korean population that was attending this church. There was also some black and white adults. There were a few families. There were a couple of children that I saw, but not many. Mostly adults. And I also noticed that they were coming alone or in pairs. There wasn't big groups of people or big families of people really coming. The congregation did seem familiar with each other. There was lots of people calling each other by name and asking how are you, what's up, and that just seemed nice. Just that people were familiar with each other. I thought that was unique, as opposed to earlier in the day at another church. I also noticed that the pews were closer together. It was a little bit tight. I felt kind of cramped during the Mass, which is just something that I noted. Additionally, at the beginning of the Mass, there were these church bells that rang out to declare that the Mass had started, and I just took note of that, and it seemed kind of traditional and just a way to finalize the Mass had begun. Another thing that I noticed was that before some of the songs, the congregation was directly invited to participate in singing, which I don't know, it's just the way it was phrased was very welcoming, and it was almost like they were really inviting people to jump in and sing with them, and that was very nice. And as you can hear in the songs that are being sung, they're more modern. They're definitely not, they seem more like, almost like a concert. They're very, like you could listen to them on a CD. They're very, I don't know, they have like a very clear chorus. They have the same message, and they're conveying the same things about the Mass and about, the readings of the day, but it's done in a different way, and I thought that was very unique about this Mass.